One of the most voiced limitations of the R5C is a limited built-in battery life when using the internal LP E6NH battery. And to counter this, there are a few options available. 8K RAW or other shooting modes are not possible while using all of the functions of the RF lenses such as AF and IS, and XLR usage at the same time concurrently. So in order to do that, to combat this internal battery limitation, many people use V-mount batteries and adapters in order to extend that battery life and increase the capabilities in order to continue using the 8K RAW and other high quality recording functions of the R5C. So let's put together a couple of combinations of rig with the R5C and a few components that I have here available. So the first question is, how are we going to configure the R5C? Do we want to use, keep it as light as possible and compact? Or do we want to maybe increase the internal battery recording time with a battery grip? And we can do both. But the basis of any rig, of course, usually stems around the cage. So now I have the R5C in its native configuration as it comes out of the box. I can use this non-battery grip version cage in order to mount all the accessories that I need. Or I can add the battery grip and a gripped version of the cage. In this iteration, I'm going to use the gripped version. Let's install the battery grip on the R5C. First, open the battery compartment, remove the battery. Next, you're going to remove the battery door. On the hinge portion, there is a little switch which pulls the pin out of the hole. Set it aside because you're going to need it. Take the battery grip. In this case, this is a genuine Canon BG-R10. There's a spot for the battery door to reside so you don't lose it. Place the hinge in and into the slots and snap it shut. Take your camera body and slide it in. Use the thumb wheel to snug it up. Now you have a grip body In order to use it, take the battery caddy out. Take your original battery and read the directions. You want the contacts facing the openings. Place it in there until it snaps. Take a second battery. It is recommended you match them up. You'll see that they are offset, but that's by design. Slide the newly created battery cartridge into the grip. Let's prepare for cage installation. Take your cage out of the box. This cage is designed to use the strap mounting points as second and third points of contact, in addition to the bottom retaining screw. Take the grip body, place it carefully into the frame. Use either the included tool, which is magnetically attached to the base, or a flat screwdriver. And just snug it up, don't tighten it. We'll now take the strap tabs, locating tabs, and use the built-in tool to install the tabs so that they interface with the camera strap loops. You will need to wiggle it into place. That's why you don't tighten it fully the first time around. Once the grip tab is located, insert the screw, tighten it. Don't tighten it fully because you still have to locate the other side. This one's located. Tighten it down. Tighten the other locating tab. Tighten this one as well. And now you can fully tighten the bottom. There you go. Replace the wrench back into its magnetic slot. So there you go. You've got the basis of a cage on a gripped R5C. The next determination is to see how you're going to power the camera. Many ways of doing this. You can rely on the internal double battery, but that is not going to supply the required nominal 8 volts of power to run the full capabilities of the camera with all functions of an RF lens and powering a hot shoe mounted audio interface. I don't use a hot shoe mounted interface. I use a Zoom F3 for audio. So theoretically, I could run 8K RAW straight in this current configuration. But if I enable IS or autofocus on the RF lens, I may run into format limitations. This is one option for running a V-mount battery. And this is a small rig, compact V-mount battery in quick release plate. This is designed for both the R5C in this extended configuration, like this, or the Sony FX3 in this configuration. This simply takes the Arca Swiss interface of your cage, and it lets you slide it onto the camera and securing it with a quick release. Now you have a V-mount plate that swings down to allow you access to the LCD. This, I think, is by far the easiest and cheapest way of mounting a V-mount battery. I use the FX Lion 902. This is a 99 watt-hour battery. You can get 50s and 150s, but the 99 watt-hour is good for taking on a plane. Take the V-mount battery, place it into the bracket. You would then take a USB-C with PD capability cable, and in this case, connect directly to the USB-C battery port. And then connect the USB-C on the camera. And you now have an active USB-C PD capability, unlocking all the features of the camera. As you can see, it's also charging the onboard batteries. And that is a priority you can set in the menus. You can stop here, or you can go a little bit further. Let's mount the lens. That's what this looks like. This is fully functional. You can mount a handle. This is a small rig. To the handle, you would mount probably a monitor. This is a NATO clamp, and this is a NATO clamp to 1/4 inch 20 monitor mount with friction pivot. This is super simple, quick release. And now the pivot allows you to run the monitor like this. I'll remove it now for access purposes. So it is recommended that you run a protector bracket for the cables, because you're running cables out of the side and you run into issues with damaging the sensitive ports on the camera, being that they gave us miniature versions of them. One such method of doing it is using either the cable clamp and protector that comes with the camera, or you can use this one. This one's by a small rig. Attaches via a couple of screws. Here on the side. And now via these thumb screws, you have a way of wedging in the connectors, prevent them from being damaged. For example, the HDMI, micro HDMI. Looks like this clamp may not let me. There we go. Definitely you want to do this before you go out and shoot video, so you're not fumbling about. There you go, that cable is secured, and I can bend it and connect it to my monitor. So what else can we do? You can use a 15mm rod system. Some additional brackets, such as this small rig articulating mount and rod holder. This one has a single thumb screw adjustment, kind of like a magic arm. And it will, of course, accept 50mm rods. For this, you would need a base plate so that you can interface with the camera. This is an IC rig, quick release base plate and rod interface. It lets you take the camera out of the rig mode and into like a stills, if you use the R5C for still photography as well as video, but you mostly use it for stills photography. You can keep this plate on the camera, and then you have your separate video rig out to the side. So I was using this for a while, and I found that worked very well as well. Super simple to set up. Let's see how that looks. So I will remove the V-mount, and I'll remove the bracket. Screw the plate down on the bottom of the cage. Now all you do, slide this whole assembly in. There's a retaining pin, and then you just tighten this thumb screw. Attach your V-mount to the back, and you're rolling. And you have the same type of adjustability as you had before by virtue of that thumb screw on the back. Gives you access to the screen. And of course I need to tighten it a little bit more, like this. There you go. Now this is a rod setup, almost as compact, but I do prefer the single piece method. Works better for me. So I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope to provide more high quality content in the coming days. And until then, I thank you for watching, and I appreciate your interest. Take care and goodbye.